What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another top 10 video. In this one, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 trios, in my opinion, from the Dynasty Warriors series. So we have a list of 10 trios that we're going to go through. Not much else to say about it. We're going to start with some honorable mentions, and then we'll jump into my picks for my favorite trios that I like to see within the game. So starting off with the honorable mentions, the first one we have is the Sun family. So Sun Ce, Sun Quan, and Sun Changzhen. So I wanted to include them on the list, but I think the top 10 for me personally are just a little bit more interesting to watch, or just a little bit more impactful. And when I get to each number, I'll explain why each number is where they are. But I didn't want to disclude this group because they do have a lot of early moments within most of the games. Sun Ce's alive, and Sun Jian's alive, and I think it's mostly them trying to find a way to forge a path together. They have some pretty good moments. And then the other honorable mention I want to mention is the Sima clan. Alright, so we have Sima Yi, Sima Zhao, and Sima Shi. So for me personally, they are an honorable mention. I think they have great moments with each other. They would have more moments than maybe like my first 2 or 3 trios on my list, but for me personally, I don't necessarily cling to them as a trio. They don't really have that many things that make me want to tune in. Very efficient, for lack of better terms. Like, they're there to discuss what to do next, how to move, lessons learned, things of that nature, versus like your normal kind of bond with a trio. But that's the dynamic of the relationship, so it totally makes sense, and that's why they're an honorable mention for me. Now, moving into the top 10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't have much else to say about it. Just gonna count it down, see what you guys think about it, and let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, starting off at number 10, we got an unusual trio, but one that I like, and it obviously wasn't developed until the latest game, but we have Jia Shu, Xun You, and Guo Jia. So this is an interesting trio group that I hope that they continue to build upon, because I like watching it. I like to see these three getting along and building this weird comradeship with each other. You got Jia Shu, who's the wild card, and he kind of prods the other two a little bit. Then you have Xun You, who's the reserved, just kind of listens and learns, super humble, all that good stuff. And then Guo Jia, the beacon of light, the leader of the group, I think, and the guy that everybody else looks up to. When they all get together, they all have this comradeship with each other, and it's just really cool to see that they have these unique moments. Now, obviously, they only have, I believe, one major pre-rendered cutscene with each other, but yeah, I just wanted to include them at number 10. For me, the reason that they're here is because it interests me as a trio. I really want to see them develop it more. I like Xun You as a character, and Jia Shu and Guo Jia's relationship is really cool, and now they're bringing in Xun You, who's no longer an outcast of the group, and it's really cool to watch. So hopefully they build upon it. Starting off number 10, we have the Wei Strategist. Alright, next up, coming in at number 9, we have the defenders of Fawn Castle. We've got Cao Ren, Peng De, and Eugene. Another interesting trio group that I like to watch. They only have one really major event together, and that is Fawn Castle. Before that, of course, Peng De takes some time before he actually joins the team. But again, similar to number 10, I would like to see them really build upon this relationship. I like the comradeship and the respect that Cao Ren and Eugene have for Peng De, and of course vice versa. They all just seem to fit each other really, really well. They just seem to be a very compatible trio, if that makes sense. Like, they just seem like they're meant to be together, and hopefully they continue to build upon that, because it's another interesting trio that you don't really think about too much. 3 characters that don't really get that much time to shine, but with each other they have like a nice, almost unspoken kind of bond, and I like to see that. Not much here for the first 2, but I think they're good, interesting trios that hopefully get built upon. And let's go ahead and move on to the next number. Alright, next up coming at number 8, we have the veterans of Wu, Huangai, Chengpu, and Han Dong. I know I'm repeating myself by saying another interesting trio, but it is. I mean, think about it. Han Dong, Chengpu, Huangai, veterans of Wu, they all get along and they have that, again, similar to like the last number. They just seem to fit so well with each other. They were there since the beginning, whatever it takes to help Sun Jian, and then, Sun Jian passes away, and they pretty much helped the next generations of Wu with no problems. I would love to see more from them, more interactions. Huangai's are training them, or Chengpu's really getting along with Zhou Yu, or Han Dong's assisting the younger group, whatever it is. And they come together and they talk, and I just like the fact that these three are like different types of leaders for the Wu Kingdom, but you don't really get to see much of it, which kind of sucks. But I think they're a great trio, the veterans of Wu. They've been in the game for quite some time now in terms of like their names and being recognizable and stuff. And of course, Chengpu and Han Dong didn't get playable until much later in the series, but I love their interactions in the game. I love their interactions in Dynasty Warriors 9, pre-rendered cutscenes with Sun Jian. It's just a really good trio, and for me, they're one of my faves. Again, just like the first two, I hope they really build upon these guys, give them some more content. And yeah, I mean, that's all I have for them. So going to move on to number 7. Next up, moving into number 7, similar to the Sima clan in a way, we've got Zhao Yun, Zhang Bao, and Guan Jing. This is another interesting trio, and it's really cool to see the bond that these two characters have with Zhao Yun. Not only in Dynasty Warriors 8, but they continue that tradition in Dynasty Warriors 9. Zhao Yun's ending, they have these two people fighting Zhao Yun, so it's very obvious that Zhao Yun is a leader that's teaching the young ones how to become strong enough for the next generation so they can carry Shu on their shoulders. I really like this mentor-student relationship that they have. Obviously, Zhang Bao and Guan Jing, I would say, idolize Zhao Yun and listen to everything he says and are very eager to learn anything that he has to offer. But again, just like the first three, please build upon it. That's a great opportunity to bring some more development for Guan Jing and Zhang Bao, because they're both kind of underdeveloped and they don't really have much of a purpose. But them learning from Zhao Yun and somehow that ties in later after Zhao Yun dies would be so sick. So I think it's a unusual trio, because this is probably one that people don't think about. Zhang Bao and Guan Jing, definitely a duo, but who's their trio? For me, I think it's Zhao Yun. And they've had some great moments, and I just hope they continue to build upon a lot of these characters and their developments and their stories and relationships and stuff, because that's what makes a game interesting to watch. But number 7, an unusual pick for me, but honestly one of my faves to see because there's so much potential with it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Alright, next up coming at number 6, we have Sima Zhao, Jia Shang, and Wang Yuanji. We got Sima Zhao and basically his light and darkness. Alright, so this is a nice, really good, solid supporting trio I love to see from Dynasty Warriors 8 and on, because Jia Shang wasn't available in Dynasty Warriors 7. Such a good trio. Dynamically, balance-wise, personality-wise, everything fits really well into the character. Jia Shang and Wang Yuanji play off each other so well, because they almost have a similar personality, but Wang Yuanji is just, because she's so monotone, she seems like she could be a dark character, but she's the light, she's the beacon, she's there to help, and I love the dynamic between these two characters. And Sima Zhao having the utmost faith and unconditional respect for these two characters, and of course them reciprocating that. Such a good trio to me within the games. One of the best ones. It's a really nice dynamic to watch. Yeah, just a really nice trio. I love the unspoken kind of bond that Jia Shang and Wang Yuanji have. I think this is a good choice for a trio, because I don't think you would ever catch Jia Shang and Wang Yuanji kind of having a conversation by themselves. But when they are together, they're usually there with Sima Zhao. It's always a good, interesting scene to watch. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. That's going to be my pick for number 6. Let's move on to the big boys. Top 5. Alright, coming in at number 5, we have Lu Bu, Zheng Liao, and Chen Gong. Lu Bu squad, a great trio. I mean, and when you think of Lu Bu's team, you think of Lu Bu, Zheng Liao, and Chen Gong. Now, if they make Gale Shun a playable character, I could see him taking Chen Gong's spot, potentially. But Chen Gong's been a playable character, and even when he was an NPC, he fit well with these three. It was just, they have great chemistry. Dynasty Warriors 9, they take a step back just a little bit. Because of the voice acting, I think, kind of hits it a little bit. It was kind of a little weird to watch. But earlier, and even when Chen Gong was an NPC, it was such a fun trio to watch. They're honestly one of the most iconic ones in the game. Playing Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends, their story, it's really done well, except for, again, the voice acting. Not a fan of Zheng Liao's voice acting in Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. But besides the point, they're going to start off my top 5 here because they're a really good trio within the games. Honestly, one of the best. When you think of Lu Bu, you think of his two right-hand men. He's got Zheng Liao right there and Chen Gong telling him what to do. Not telling him what to do, but like trying to assist him. Top 5 for me. Starting off, we got Lu Bu, Zheng Liao, and Chen Gong. It's a solid choice for me. Don't have much else to say about it, and that's why they're here at number 5 for me. Alright, next up coming at number 4, now we get into the meat of the list. Starting off, we've got the defenders of Hefei coming together. Zheng Liao, Yue Jin, and Li Dian. So now the list really starts to solidify. The first 6, where it's kind of ones I had to think about. Those are like outside the box. You don't really think about those trios. But the top 4 are solidified, guaranteed, platinum, certified, like they're trios. You think of one of them, you think of the whole trio. And that's why I'm starting off with Zheng Liao, Yue Jin, and Li Dian. Hefei battle, even before they became playable, they were right there by Zheng Liao's side, whatever he needed, and they're a no-brainer to be on this list. The top 3 I think are a little bit more significant to me. Not significant, but like they have better moments, or I like to watch their dynamic a little bit more. You know, Zheng Liao, Yue Jin, and Li Dian, when it comes to their dynamic, so Yue Jin is like a lesser version of Zheng Liao. 2 talented generals, both elite generals of Wei, right? Vanguard leaders, they're charging into battle, cavalry units, you know, bravery and, you know, super strong. And Li Dian, same thing. I'm not going to take away from the fact that he can't do the same things as those 2 people. I'm going to take away from the fact that he did contribute a lot to Hefei, but because of his personality in Dynasty Warriors, it kind of throws off the group a little bit. It's almost to the point where it's like Zheng Liao doesn't really like recognize that, or Yue Jin, like they don't really ever say anything about it, like, hey man, it's a weird comment you made, right? There's no acknowledgement of the way Li Dian is, so he kind of sticks out a little bit from the trio. But in terms of being a solidified trio, Yue Jin, Li Dian, and Zheng Liao at the Battle of Hefei, and even I guess a little bit before that as well, these 3 are a certified trio, definitely deserve to be on this list, and they're a great choice before we hit the top 3. Alright, finishing up our list, starting off with the top 3. Big boy trios now. So starting off with number 3, we have Lu Meng, Gan Ning, and Ling Tong. One of the best trios within the game, honestly, and great dynamics, so entertaining to watch. They bounce off each other perfectly. They just have so much good chemistry with each other, and I really like the fact that they built upon that from the first time Ling Tong got introduced into the game. When it comes to trios, this is among the best from the Wu Kingdom, and there's no brainer to put him on here at number 3 for me personally. Great interactions between these 3 characters. You got your mentor, and you got the 2 knuckleheads that are just constantly at each other's throat for good reason. And it's always interesting to see what's going to happen, how they're going to help each other out, how does it start out, how's Gan Ning and Ling Tong going to get along this time in this iteration of the game. And it's always fun to watch. I love seeing the interactions with each other, and it's always fun to watch that arc from starting off as enemies and becoming genuine friends. And then of course you got Lu Meng, you know, holding together with the glue, and you know, being proud of his 2 students becoming more than enough to replace him after he passes away and all that. And yeah, great trio. Starting off with the bronze medal, I think they're a great choice here. Let's move on to the heavy hitters. Alright, coming in at number 2, no brainer, they should be on the list. From the beginning, these three were always together. Cao Cao, Xiahou Dun, and Xiahou Yuan. Great trio since the beginning. One of the most solidified trio on this list. It doesn't get much better than these three right here. And they're quite the trio combination. You know, similar to the last one. Chemistry's through the roof with these three. They're all related. They're family, they're cousins. And they're die-hard visionaries. You know, you got Cao Cao with his vision and his two right-hand men to help him get to that point. Xiahou Dun and Xiahou Yuan, loyal to the end, no matter what it takes. And they got some great banter. I love that they took Xiahou Yuan's personality and made him more bubbly, less, serious, to really balance out the testosterone in this trio. I like Cao Cao and Xiahou Dun's genuine connection, and then of course Xiahou Yuan has one with him as well. But he's there to break the ice and crack a joke every now and then, have that softer side. And they all trust each other implicitly, have the utmost respect for one another, and it's just a really solid, easy, no-brainer trio on the list. Number 2 on my list, you got the three bros of Wei, which leaves only one trio left. You guys are already probably thinking about it. Let's reveal number 1. And finally, coming in at number 1, should be a no-brainer. It should be the first group you guys thought about when the video popped up on your timeline. We've got Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Liu Bei. You can't get more iconic as a trio than the Oath of the Peach Garden. They're the only trio that has something of that caliber within their group. And if you think of one of them, you think of the rest of them. There's no you don't think of just Guan Yu and Zhang Fei. You think of Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Liu Bei. You got Liu Bei, leader of Shu, and these two gigantic, strong monstrosities of a general, and Guan Yu and Zhang Fei. And this group is no slouch. The best trio from the game. Is it the strongest trio from the game? It is debatable. We don't know. That's for a different video. But in this one, in terms of the most significant, the most impactful, the ones that I like to see the most, obviously number 1 is Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Liu Bei. They're the first ones I wrote down for this video idea, and honestly, it's a no-brainer. I don't need to explain why. Not even from Dynasty Warriors games. You play some of the mobile Dynasty Warriors games or variations of different Three Kingdoms media and things of that nature. Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Liu Bei are always together. They're 100% the number 1 trio in the game, and there's nothing to argue with. I mean, there's nobody better than them. So that's all I have for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos as well. If you guys are enjoying them, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And let me know down below, what do you guys think about my list? The first like 6 or 7 were pretty unusual, so let me know what you guys think about the ones that I picked, honorable mentions, anybody that I missed. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, definitely join up. If you get a high enough tier, you guys can recommend me any video you want, and I will make it as soon as you want me to. You get your own personal emote, things of that nature, all that good stuff. But that's all I have for the video, guys. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Later, guys.